But yeah, fuck pedos. Wow, that was crazy. What else was going on right now? Oh, did you guys see the Zoran thing? Where people were making fun of him for not being able to lift? And I was like, leave my king Zoran alone, bro. So rude. Rude. So you guys know Zoran, right? Of course. So Zoran was at this event earlier, and you know, he couldn't bench. I don't know what weight it was. Well, he was trying to bench his own weight and he couldn't do it. So people were shitting on him, for being scrawny. Zoran is the winner of the Democratic mayoral candidate in New York, made that whole big thing. He's like super popular with the people, everything. And now the current mayor of New York, Eric Adams, is shitting on him because he's mum scrawny. Yeah, that was kind of creative. He's mum scrawny. Zoran can't lift, whatever. He's super hated by most people. Then why did he win? Not at all. All the young people love Zoran. I'm a proud Zoran voter. Maybe just because you're older. Like older and white. I mean, even 24% of Republican candidates voted for Zoran. But it's actually just so ridiculous that people are hating on for that. Because I'm like, what does this have to do with his policies? Like, nothing at all. Because, if anything, he has one of the biggest, door-knocking civilian mobilization campaigns that we've seen recently in American history. Like, what did he got, like 30,000, 20,000 people to canvass for him? It was insane. He won't win the general election. Really, it's looking pretty good for him. And he won because 9% of the population voted. Yeah, well, clearly the other people didn't dislike him enough to go and vote for other candidates. I mean, he won because the people love him, especially the young people. If he can't bench 135, how is he going to carry the weight of New York? Yeah, people are saying that. I'm like, that's so stupid. I'm like, his physical fitness has nothing to do with his politics. And I feel like he's so loved for that, and he's been doing great, and he has so much love from the people. And we don't judge any other politicians on physical fitness. Like, look at Trump and Elon being wildly obese. But no one will say shit about that. Also, if you're a politician and you're actually doing your job and you're working hard, you're probably not going to have time for a good fitness routine. Kind of reminds me of when RBG was showing that she could do push-ups when she was old, though. That was cool. I don't think they're hating on No, they are. Like, Eric Adams and shit are hating on him. And I'm just like, it is kind of funny. But it also just shows that they don't have anything to actually attack him on. Because that's like the whole argument, It's like you want to attack someone, but you can't attack them on the topic at hand being politics, because Zoran is so well loved and everything. So you try and attack him on like these unrelated issues. Right. Eric said he benched 165. Well, okay, your worth shouldn't be measured by how much you lift. Yeah, leave my scrawny king Zoran alone. Well, like, most men at that age can bench 75% of their body weight. To be fair, though, he's not most men. Like, he's incredibly busy. He's running for mayor of New York. He was just on Time magazine. He has all this shit going on. Like, do you think he has time for, like, a regular physical fitness routine? Or to even focus on himself? Like, probably not, honestly. But, yeah. Also, I think part of this comes because, Eric Adams is considered to be pretty buff. But also, like, Eric Adams is trash. So, he has 0 time slots. Yeah, I mean, like, this is probably just because my poor time management. But I often have a hard time figuring out when to fit in times to work out. So I'm not sure about him. Leave scrawny Mom Donnie alone. Daddy Zoran. I meant without a physical fitness routine, but maybe he didn't play sports growing up. Yeah, maybe he didn't play sports either. Who knows? But you know what it actually reminds me about? I was talking to my roommate about this. It reminds me about, for those of you who watch Naruto, you'll know that this is relevant because we've been talking, I was at Anime Con and everything. So I remember there's this one clip of Naruto and Ino. If you guys remember Ino, she's like one of the other girls in the group. It's like Sakura, Ino, Tenten, Hinata. Shit, why did I forget Hinata? And then like Ino makes like a comment and shits on Sakura about being flat chested, which like is like a common like trash talk to her throughout the anime and everything, because I think like Japanese people are so obsessed with like anime titties. And this was like a light novel or like a filler episode or something, and Sakura was just like, the only reason you're always shitting on me for being flat chested is because like you can't come at me for anything that actually matters, and you don't have any critique on me that's valid, which is true, because if you guys watch the show, you know that like Sakura is like a better ninja and more talented than Ino in essentially like every way, right? Like she beats her in every like technical category. And I'm like, that's like this, Like that's like not me making real life anime comparisons. It's like Eric Adams shitting on Zoran, He knows that Zoran is popular and has the people's love, and he often doesn't. Therefore, he goes for something like this. I heard a lot of this has to do with beliefs of him wanting to make New York more like his parents' Middle East country. I don't know if it's a good or bad thing. That's okay. Here, I feel like you just don't know a lot about this topic. Okay, so first of all, he's not Middle Eastern. He's Indian, which is in South Asia. And his dad is from Uganda. His mom is Indian American. His mom is a super famous, or pretty famous director and everything. And no, that is like literally random, like Republican propaganda. He's like a super modern Muslim. Him and his wife, he just focuses on socialist policies, which is, like raising the minimum wage, making public transport more accessible, like lowering rent for people or stabilizing rent for people. And like I said, 24% of Republicans actually even voted for him. And some Republican outlets stopped showing his policies because actually, if you listen to them, they're pretty appealing to even the average person. The reason why, there's like this, corporate Republican smear campaign against him is because he wants to tax really rich people to make it more affordable for poor people. And obviously, really rich people, they don't want that, right? Because they want to keep their money and they're greedy. Because he's planning to pay for all these things by raising taxes by 2% on New Yorkers who make $1 million or more a year. So yeah. Everyone's going to vote in the Democratic primary in New York City. Not registered, but just as I was foaming over not being at Anime Con, I was at an event where I made a member of Girls' Generation. Wait, what event? Here? If you want to tax the really rich, he's not going to make it a presidency. He can't become president because he was born in Uganda and immigrated here when he was 7. So, yeah. And I don't think he's trying to become president. He's just trying to become mayor right now. But no, yeah, you can't become president of the U.S. if you're not born in the U.S. So, yeah. He was born in Uganda. Yeah, so both of his parents are Indian, ethnically. But his dad grew up in Uganda. So his dad's, like, nationality, at least at that time, they live in America now, was Ugandan. I'm not exactly sure why. I know at some point India, like the British sent a lot of Indian people to that region of Africa to, like work and stuff. Like I had a friend in college, her dad was Indian but born in Kenya because his family a few generations prior was sent there to do labor. It never just stays at just 1 million. It starts, we'll only tax people making $1 million or more, but then all of a sudden we'll tax people making over 300K. Well, he's planning to stay at 1 million, and unless you be making that much money, I don't know why you'd want to be defending rich people like that, bro. But you can't say which member of Girls' Generation you met? Please tell me. You have to hit 35 too. Yeah, he's 33, but yeah. I was not born in the U.S. Yeah, cool. He's Ugandinian. I'm pretty sure it's just Ugandan. But yeah, so no, he's not Ugandan ethnically, but his father was born in Uganda. His parents seem really cool and based. So like he's like culturally has like a lot of Ugandan culture in there. Like his middle name is Kwame. Ugandanese. So half Ugandan, half Indian. So he's ethnically just Indian. His nationality is American because he's a US citizen now. But like in some ways he's still Ugandan because he has that attachment to the culture from his father because his dad grew up in Uganda. A lot of different cultures going on there. Is the next mayor, yeah. Ugandinian sounds cool. I feel like Ugandinian doesn't roll off the tongue though. It's just easier to say Ugandan. Indian diaspora occurred during the British Raj, which is why Indians in parts of Africa, Caribbean, Fiji. Yeah, I went down a rabbit hole about Indo-Fijians. I didn't know that was a thing. And I still don't know why they sent so many Indian people to Fiji. 300K, but he's not taxing people work 300K. He didn't say that. I mean, sure, yeah, maybe he will lower it all the way another 700K down, which is still a huge jump, Ace. But it's also like, so who's gonna give you, better tax cuts and care? The ultra rich people? No, they don't give a fuck about you. But yeah, it's Ugandan. They literally always do. So are you saying that someone like Cuomo cares more about you? Because they definitely don't. Why was he talking about 300K? That's not even a thing. I think he's just trying to hate. I just don't want to be taxed. Well, the thing is, if you make 300K, you should tax. Cuomo will tax me less. Well, Cuomo also molested, what was it? He has 13 women against him or something. 300K is not a lot. You should still everyone should be taxed. It's just rich people should be taxed way more. If you make 300K, you should still be taxed. You shouldn't be taxed the same amount. A millionaire gets taxed, but like you shouldn't be absolved of taxes. You're not like a poor person. Cuomo may be worse. Well, yeah, Cuomo's a fucking toucher. So if you vote for someone who's a toucher, and he literally had to resign disgrace, you're being adjacent. Right, but the rate is already 32%. Sure, I mean, but he didn't say he's going to tax people who make 300K. He never said that. I think you're just looking for a reason to hate. Cuomo facing harassment allegations, Adams facing bribery allegations, Mamdani can't live 135, all equally controversial. Yeah, it was so funny when Zoran was like, Cuomo has a hard time taking no for an answer, and I was just like, crazy. You gotta be careful taxing rich people. They'll weasel their way out of it using other countries. Indeed, they will, and that's often the problem. If actual super disgustingly stacked people just paid their taxes, there's so much we could do for the poor people in the world, but that's not what they went. So,